Are you a purpose-driven entrepreneur struggling to get web traffic that converts into paying clients? Stop wasting time and money. Discover how to position yourself as the go-to authority in your niche or industry. Infuse your wow website with the best unmarketing strategies and drive traffic to your website that converts to leads and clients. Listen to the Unmarket Your Business podcast today and watch as your ideal clients find you with ease. Let's head into the studio now with our hostess with the mostest, Carol J. Dunlop.
Hey everyone, how you doing? I'm Carol J. Dunlop, your online wow strategist and 10-time best-selling author. Woo, it's good to be back. It's good to be here. It's good to be alive. Don't you feel that way? I feel that way. I'm just happy. I'm just happy about life. I'm happy about everything. I'm happy where the business is. I'm happy where things are going. And I hope you feel the same way, because today we're going to conquer and talk about and find some solution for those uncomfortable conversations that you as a coach need to have with your people, or you need to have with yourself. These conversations are very important. And we always talk about, don't talk to yourself. Or if you talk to yourself, you're crazy. And recently on the summit that I'm going to tell you a little bit about, one of my clients, Dr. Elfrida Bradford, said, I always say, at least when you talk with yourself, you know that you're going to have an intelligent conversation. I'm like, yes, child, that is it. That is the funniest thing I've ever heard. And it's so true. So we're not crazy. We are having intelligent conversations with ourselves because we know us better than us. That's why we need to have this conversation. If you're a coach, you need to have it with your people. If you're a coach and you're doing any of these things, then you need to have this conversation with yourself so that you can help your business explode to the next level and stop staying stuck. All right, so we're going to get to that in just a moment because it's just me. There's no guest today, but I do have some guests coming up in future episodes that you're going to be so happy about. And it's all about teaching you how to get more traffic to your website. In these roundabout ways, they all come down to getting more traffic to your website. And you'll see what I mean when we go through these. First of all, I want to tell you about something special that's happening, the Power of Your Story Summit. Nadine Mullings and I, formerly Mullings, now Murray, I have to get used to saying that myself. We created this summit last year with the Power of Your Message, and we're doing it this year for the second time, the Power of Your Story and how important your story is. We have 24 speakers, and we're going to be talking about the art of storytelling, how to steward your story, how to share your story, and definitely how to monetize your story. I'm going to be talking about that. I'm on that day. That is day 4, how to monetize your story. And then day 5 is going to be a live panel with as many speakers as we can get from the summit to come on. And we're going to talk about embodying your story. So this can all be yours if you go to powerofyourstorysummit.com and go ahead and get your free ticket and go ahead and upgrade. You don't have to upgrade. If you don't want to upgrade, that's fine. And you can take your chances at missing out on some nuggets or not. I wouldn't want you to do that. But it's all free. We did this for you, so go ahead and take advantage of it. All right, it's tech time. I actually love this time when we're sharing technology and things that you probably didn't even know existed, but now you do, so you can use them and make your life easier, better, do stuff faster, get more production. The tech time thing that I'm talking about today is Pretty Links. Have you ever heard of Pretty Links? I think it's prettylinks.com. Well, what Pretty Links does, you've heard of bit.ly, they call it bit.ly, or tinyurl.com, where you put a long URL in there and it shortens it down to maybe 10, 15 characters, something like that. You can do exactly the same thing with your own website and not miss out on any branding. So let's say you have a long URL, and I'm going to use mine as an example. So unmarketyourbusiness.com, Power of Your Story Summit, /Power of Your Story Summit. That's a lot, right? So let's just bring that down to unmarketyourbusiness.com /POYSS. So that's a whole lot better, right? You don't have all those words, you don't have all those letters. It's easy for people to remember. And guess what? It is branding your website. So it takes your website, whatever the .com is, and then at the end you can put whatever you want. And it's really unlimited. It's based on your website, so you don't have to worry about, oh, that's already taken, I can't use it. And you can, get it down to, I like to do 3 to 4 letters or 1 word or 2 words, because we're all busy and we don't have time to be looking at things, and we want to see what it is, know what it is, and keep rolling so we can click on it. So it's all about getting people to click. And there's something out there about a bit.ly and tiny URL. A lot of people will click on it because they don't know what it is. So they're going to click on this bit.ly so they can see. Well, you can do the same thing with your own website. Use your URL for branding, and then the other part, make it short so it won't be too long altogether. So that Pretty Links is free. It's in the WordPress depository, but you can also upgrade and do some other things like time your links or something. I have not done that. I'm still on the free one. I haven't had a need to time the stuff and all that, but if I do, I will. So go check it out, Pretty Links. All right, it's time for us to get into these uncomfortable conversations. Are you ready? Get your pen and paper and join me on the other side.
What's holding you back from hitting go on your marketing plan? Fear, being unsure, imposter syndrome, frustration? That stops now. What if I showed you how to reach your target audience and get them to buy? How to make social media marketing easy? How to understand the power of email marketing? And how to conquer your fear of putting yourself out there? What if I provided you with simple tools and techniques, easy to implement training that bring you clarity, and give you the expertise and the know-how to convert marketing into money? Hey there, I'm Carol J. Dunlop, the online wild strategist and 6-time best-selling author. I teach purpose-driven entrepreneurs just like you to convert marketing into money. If you're a purpose-driven entrepreneur who's ready to stop allowing fear and frustration to keep you stuck and instead embrace clarity, authority, and expert instruction to convert your marketing strategies into money in the bank, then you need to join the Unmarketing Academy. In the Academy, you'll take a deep dive into the tools, techniques, and trainings that helped me and my husband to sustain our successful business in spite of the 2008 recession, 2 major health crises, and of course, the pandemic. The Academy is about replacing expensive, frustrating, and overwhelming marketing practices with simple, easy to implement marketing resources that get you in front of your target audience and get you paid. This Academy is for purpose-driven entrepreneurs who crave simple marketing strategies, coaches who need real-life trainings to take the overwhelm out of marketing, small business owners who are ready to conquer their fear of putting themselves out there, service providers who want to use social media and email marketing effectively, action takers who are ready to go live without fear. Market business successfully takes work and marketing. Without marketing, they don't know you exist. If you're ready to convert your marketing into money, you need to join the Unmarketing Academy. Join the Unmarketing Academy today by going to unmarketyourbusiness.com/join.
Okay, let's get into this. 5 uncomfortable coaching conversations that you need to have with your people or even yourself. If you're coaching somebody, tell them about it. If you're coaching yourself or if you're thinking about it, do these things. They're really going to help you. So we're not going to avoid this uncomfortability. We're going to jump right in and address it. So the number one uncomfortable conversation that you got to have is content. Your content is not the problem. It's your offer. So you send out, or you're creating all this content, blog posts, social media posts, videos, live streams, all kind of stuff, putting your things out there. And what do you hear? Crickets. Nobody's buying. Nobody's saying anything. You may get a couple likes, but you're not getting any commitments. And you're definitely not getting any sales. Why is that? Well, it's not the content. It's your offer. Your offer is not good, or your offer is not compelling. Your offer is not solving the problem. Your offer is not what your people want. So you got to figure out what is it that your people want. In order to do that, you got to go all the way back to the beginning of the 3 steps that I tell everybody they have to do. They have to know who you're talking to, who is your audience. Are they retired business owners who want who want something new to do? Is it a couple who wants to travel the world and don't know how to do it? Is it maybe young moms who are looking for healthy recipes to prepare for their family really fast? Whoever they are, you got to know who they are. And by knowing who they are, you know what they want, you know what they like, you know how they talk, you know the expressions they use, you know where they hang out online, you know the books they read, the coaches they follow, you know all this stuff because they're your audience and you have made it your job to know this. And if you don't know this stuff, if I ask you anything about your audience and you go, I'm not sure, or possibly, it could be, you don't know your audience. So you need to get right back to the drawing board and figure out who your people are and who you're talking to. Then you need to know what is the major problem in their life right now. What is the thing that is keeping them awake at night or keeping them from even going to sleep or giving them restless sleep? They're like sitting up in the middle of the night. Oh my God, I got to solve this problem. This problem is what you solve. And then the final thing is, how are you going to solve the problem? And let them know, hey, I have the solution. Come over here. So if your offer doesn't address the who, it doesn't answer the what, and it doesn't show people how, then you're just wasting your time creating this content because it's not going to work. Nobody's going to like, wow, that is great. Let me go get it. Because if they don't have that problem, or your content doesn't really spell out what the problem is and how you solve it, they're not going to pay any attention. This is going to keep on rolling to whatever they got to do. So remember, your content is not the problem. It's your offer. Fix your offer. Make sure that when you're putting, and the pricing is not the thing. It's not, should I make it cheaper? You most likely need to make it more expensive because your people are looking for something substantial, quality-minded, valuable, and they're looking most of all to solve their problem. And to solve a problem, how much will they pay? Now, it's not about cheating people or seeing if you can get the most out of people or anything like that. It's fair market value. What is your time worth for creating this thing? And what do you want people to pay you for putting this out there? That's what you need to think about. And you need to think about it in a problem solution offer, the PSO formula. What's the problem? This is the solution. Here's my offer. PSO, problem solution offer. Get that down pat. Know who, what, and how first, and then do the PSO, and you will be great. It'll be all gravy. Number 2, your perfectionism is showing. So I am not a perfectionist. I like to get things done, put it out there, wash, rinse, and repeat, see what's happening, take it back, do a revision on it, put it out there again. But some people, I'm not saying you are, but some people are perfectionists. They don't want anything to leave their office, their computer, or whatever, and it's not perfect. The shine on it, I have to compare this to Below Deck, that reality show about people chartering these boats, and it goes through the whole thing about, what they do on the boat and all that. Well, one thing you'll notice that they do, they're always cleaning. They're always cleaning everything, the toilets, the tables, the windows, whatever. They're cleaning something because they don't want any smudges or spots or stains. They want to present a perfect yacht for these people to get on who are paying all this money to get on there. All right, that doesn't have to be you. You can be a B student or even a C student. You don't have to get the A. Perfection is not required. Information is required. Getting these people what they want is required. Getting them the results that they need is required. So throw perfectionism out the window. You can only perfect it up to a point. Yes, proofread. Yes, catch the spelling errors, because that's a sign of an amateur if you have tons of misspellings, it's not grammatically correct, the sentences are wrong, all that stuff that, that's amateurish, and you can perfect it, that part. But having every single T crossed, I dotted, period showing, no. You just have to make sure that what you're putting out there works. You're talking to your people who you know who they are, you know what their situation is, right? And you've got this offer that you're putting out there, but it doesn't have to be perfect. I give you permission right now. You can take it back, you can revise it, and you can put it out again. And then you can see what happens. Did you have a better reaction to it? Did more people buy? Did one person pay for it? Look at that. Look at it that way. Did one person pay for this? If one person paid for this, that means that you got something. But if one person and nobody else, it means that you got to fix something. Okay. So people buying it means that your idea is proven, but how you're presenting it may not be quite the right thing. Because if your people want videos and you're giving them audio, that ain't gonna work. If your people would rather read and you're sending them to something that they got to be interactive with and they don't have time or don't want to do it, that's not right. So that's why you got to look at your people, see who they are, what they want, how you can help them. And you just got to put it out there. You got to put your offer out there. So here's something you can do. I want you to make a list of 50 people who can use whatever your offer is. Just pick one of your offers. It doesn't matter if it's expensive or affordable or whatever. Just pick one of your offers that you want to sell. And if you have to do something to it, do something in it or help it or whatever, I want you to be comfortable with whatever the price is. Because the main number one thing that happens if you discount your services, your products, your intellectual property, and people buy it because it's at a discount or whatever, and then you're starting to do it, you're not going to do it well. You're going to hate doing it, as a matter of fact. And you're not going to give the best part of you, and your client is going to miss out because they won't get the best of you. And is it their problem that you decided to discount your offer because it had you were like, oh, that'll help me sell? That's not going to help you sell. Just discounting for discounting's sake is not going to help you sell. So I want you to make a list of 50 people who you can sell this product to, product or service, whatever it is. And then I want you to reach out to them and see what they say. 50. Yes, I said that. Okay, number 3, free is sabotaging your paid stuff. I am the queen of free. I tell you, I love free stuff. Give me a free anything, just about. I will take it. And when I first started in business, I didn't have that much money to spend on, my first business or even my personal training business, which came after CSI. I didn't have money to spend on it. So it was all about, let me get as much free stuff as I can and learn how to do this thing. And I did. But you know what I found out? Free is not enough. And the reason that free is not enough is what I'm going to explain to you in a minute. You got to pay. You got to pay on some things free. You can get so many things free, and then you've got to pay for the real deal. Now, those people who are out there making that money, they know that. So they're going to give you some free stuff that kind of breaks the surface of what they're trying, the idea that they're trying to get across to you, right? So let's say you got let's say one of my lead magnets, 9 ways to get more traffic to your website, right? So I took my podcast and the guests that I invited, and I always ask them, how do you get traffic to your website? And I took 9 of those people and took their answers and put it into a freebie that you can get. You can get right now. All right, so it will be the freebie. I'll have it listed in the show notes for you. But there are 9 ways that these people are using to get traffic to their website. And it's absolutely free. But what is my end game with that? My end game is, number 1, to get people to my podcast. So I got 9 people who are on the podcast. So that's a better chance of them listening to me, because I'm telling them, you can listen to what these people are saying, get more traffic to your website, listen to my podcast. Yes. And then I'm promoting the guests as well, the guests who are on the podcast, so they get more exposure. So it's a win-win all around. But in the end, I want people to be talking in a conversation about websites, and I want that to lead back to me so that they will come to me to do their website. That's the end game of it all. I'm giving you free stuff. I'm making this available, but sister want to get my hair did. I want lipstick and makeup and stuff, and I want, a house to be in, a roof over my head, shoes on my feet, and things like that. How do I get that? By selling, by getting people like you to purchase my products or services. But you're not just going to purchase my products and services unless you're saying to yourself, oh, wow, I need that. The free stuff shows you that you need this. You want to give them a win. Answer one question or give them one solution. And then let's say you have 10 solutions that can really help them. They're like a step thing. You do this and you graduate and you do number 2, you graduate and you do number 3, and it's better. Well, give the freebie, give one of those as a freebie, and then the rest of them you keep under wraps and save that for the people who are going to pay. Because if you give everything away for free, who's going to pay? Right? That old saying long time ago, who's going to pay for the cow if they can get the milk for free? And they were talking about, women and our virtues and all that. But it's kind of the same principle. If you give everything away, nobody's going to want to pay because they're like, well, I got everything. I don't need to pay for anything. So you need to tease them. You need to say, hey, this is what you can get by working with me. This is one of the solutions that you will get from working with me. I have 9 others, but you got to talk to me and let's see if they're even relevant for you. So you're putting it in their court. They're going to come and see if these things are relevant, if it's going to help them. So it's making them feel like, oh, let me go try that out. Curiosity, right? So maybe your free stuff is sabotaging your paid stuff. So if you have something right now that you can take a part of it and make it free, do it. And then if they want more, make them pay for it. If you want money, that's what you got to do. Create appetizing content that will make them come back for more and more and more and pay you more and more and more. Because the thing is, when somebody needs an answer to something, a solution, a problem that they have, they're going to pay as much money as they feel they need to pay to get that solution. And I've told you about the rope thing, like you're climbing up this side of this rock. I don't know why you would do that, but some people do. They find it fun. I don't. But they're climbing up the side of this rock and you realize, oh my God, my rope has disappeared. I don't know where. And I'm kind of holding on. And then here comes someone else who's at the top of that rock or mountain and saying, hey, I got a rope for you. It's not your rope, but it's a better rope. Is any rope. Any rope is good right now. How much would you pay for that rope? How much? So that's what you got to look at when you're doing free stuff versus paid. All right, number 4, you have a conversion problem, not a traffic problem. So you're doing all this stuff and you're trying to get more traffic to your website, right? That's the key. Get traffic, get traffic, get traffic. And somebody out there somewhere is going to come by my website, stop, and they're actually going to buy something. Well, not if your offer isn't good, not if you don't know who you're talking to or what they need, or your solution is off, or you're trying to be perfect. None of that's going to happen. And so you've been, trying to get this traffic over and over again just to see 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 over and over and over again. It's not the traffic, it's the conversion. Maybe you don't even have anything that's going to convert them. When people come to your website and they, there's free traffic, hey, there's a site, it tells me all about the exact thing I want to do. I want to create smoothies. I've never done it before. This person has the recipes. Oh, great. And they're giving away recipes. Oh, awesome. And then nothing. They don't buy anything. Why? Because you're not making it compelling enough for them to reach in their virtual wallet and give you that money and pay you. Like I said, people will pay any amount that they deem necessary to get what it is that they want, but they have to want it. And you have to let them know they need this, right? They want this, they need this, they can have it for this price. Because if you aren't converting the traffic that you already have and you're trying to get more traffic, it's just going to end up in a soupy mess because all these people are going to be swimming past your website, stop and look at it for a second and keep on going, bouncing, boing. We don't want that. We want them to come by your website, stop, say, I didn't even know this was here. This is amazing. I need this right here, and reach in that pocket and pull out some money and buy it from you. How do we get past it? So right now I want you to, this is one thing you do. I want you to audit your content. And now that you know that whole thing about perfection, is good and done is better than perfect, right? So let's get it done. Make sure you're talking to the who, the what, and the how, right? And you're making sure that this is compelling enough that people want to pay for it. So I want you to audit your content and keep all those things in mind. And you're trying to get traffic that comes to your website to turn into a lead that subscribes to your newsletter, who then after they've been nurtured, they're going to become a client. So it's lead subscriber, client. Or sometimes it's lead client. They don't even subscribe. They just buy what you have. But you got to make it easy for them to do that. And I want you to create a process that kind of steers them. If you think about a farmer who's farming like cows or goats or sheep, they always have to herd them together, right? And get them in kind of a line so that they can direct them. And they do this, sheep dogs, the people who are on the horses, I don't know what they call them, who are leading people, they're out there looking, go this way, go this way. So that's what you're doing on your website. I want you to audit your content and see what is the path to success, the path to payment that you've structured for them. Do you have one? Do you have a sales process? Do you have something on your website where they download it, they do whatever it says, they get an instant win, and then they're like, this is awesome. They're not going to do anything else until they get another email that says, hey, how did that work out? Are you okay? Hey, why don't you have a conversation with me? So now they're on your list. You're inviting them to have a conversation. They have a conversation with you. And in the conversation, it's not just you're sipping coffee or wine or whatever and talking about the daytime. You're talking about how you can help them. It's not the meet and greet and let's talk about our life being mommies and grandmas and all that. It's, hey, how you doing? Thank you for being on my list. What is the issue that you had? How did that solve? What you downloaded, how did that solve it? What else are you trying to do? And let's see how I can support you. It's a professional conversation. If you want to have a friendship conversation with somebody, child, go ahead. But if you're trying to make money, this is the path that you have to go on. All right. And so you got to think about conversions. How is this going to convert from something free to something paid, or getting that person, that lead, that traffic that turns into a lead? How am I going to ensure that they become a subscriber and then become a client? It's all about the nurturing. It's all about welcoming them to your website. When they get there, they know they're in the right place. Why? Because they see and hear things that are familiar. You speak in the language that they speak. I'm not talking about Spanish, English, or Portuguese. I'm talking about whatever the language is. If they're young moms, you're speaking the language that young moms want to hear, or the expressions that an older gentleman wants to hear when he's been a CEO and now he's looking at starting his own business. What does he want to hear? That's the language part I'm talking about. And as long as you get that stuff right, and you know what you're doing, right? Because I know you know what you're doing. And you can present it in a way that people understand it, and they can know, oh, if I do this, this is going to happen, and I can reach my dreams this way. They are in. So audit your content and see, are you helping people to go up that ladder with you? They're starting out at whatever point they're starting out when they're coming to you, but you want to see them increase, get more impact, more whatever it is they're trying to do. Just think about it like a driving instructor. We have all these places that instruct people how to drive, but the people that come in, do they want to really learn how to drive? Yes, I want to learn how to drive because I don't want to be locked up in the house all the time. I want to get out and I want to do stuff. So they're going to come to this driving place to be taught to drive, And then what happens? They have to get their license and they have to pay for it. That's how that industry makes money, right? And then if you don't drive correctly, they take points away or give you points, and they eventually take your license away. That's how they make money. So you're in the money-making marketing business. So how do you get people to convert? So that's what I want you to do. Look at your content and see how does it fit in your strategy, your sales strategy. All right, number 5, last one. Your prices are insulting your expertise. Ooh, that's a big one, right? Your prices are insulting your expertise. Now, I get it. When you first start out and you're in business for yourself, you've been working a job all your life, the JOB. I call it the journey of the broke, but just because of the ceiling limit on most jobs, right? You've been in a job, you've been an employee, and you always knew that you want to be an entrepreneur, or this could be a new thing. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. So you get out there and you start working. You start creating stuff for people to purchase, whether it's real, physical products or info products or whatever it is. You're creating this. And when you put it out there, you're like, immediately you get imposter syndrome. Who's going to buy from me? Who's going to pay this? Who am I to even do this? You are you. You are the person that God has made and put on this earth with a purpose. And whatever it is that you're selling or doing, that is your purpose. That is what he's telling you to do. That's what he's put into your life for you to do. So then, since we're hit with that syndrome of imposter, being an imposter, not good enough, not knowing enough, and all that, we're like, okay, I'm going to take this 6-week course and I'm going to sell it for $25. That ought to be great, because $25, everybody will line up to get this course, and you sell 0. And you think, oh, well, I had my who, I had my what, and I had my how, but who's going to pay $25 for a 6-week course and expect to get results out of it? I'm just asking you. Because when you go to Tony Robbins or any of these other big coaches, they're charging a lot of money for what they're doing. And, the coaching industry is debatable about, should I charge this money? I'm making up this fee or whatever. I mean, you have what God has put in you to your spidey senses. That don't even sound good enough to be true. And most of the time, when a big, huge name like that is putting something out really cheap, there's a lot of stuff behind it, like other stuff you got to buy, or this is going to take you forever to do, or this is impossible to do, or whatever. And you're like, well, I'm not like Tony Robbins, so I can't charge $34,000 for this thing, but $25,000 they should buy. And they're not going to buy because they don't trust it. They're like, how can you be an expert? You charge $25? Because most people know that experts get paid. Experts, authorities, people who know their stuff, they get paid. Why? Because they're experts and authorities in that subject matter, and it's taken them a while, or many courses, many classes, degrees, just life experience, right? Because if you're 50 years old right now and you're just starting out with a new company, a new whatever, and you've got that imposter syndrome on your back saying, oh, who am I? Who's going to pay for this? Squash that right now. You've got 50 years, or at least, let's say at least 30 years. At least if you're 50, you got at least 30 years of experience in doing something. Maybe it's making a mess of your life, and now you finally decided, I'm going to do this right. And you can tell people, if you're doing this, this, and this is going to lead you here. You know how most of the people who've been in prison before and stuff, they come out, don't do this, don't be like me, do this. Even if you've been in prison, you still got experience. A lot of people out there have not been to prison. Thank God. Let me knock on wood, I've never been to prison. I don't want to go. And I'm not trying to do anything to go, but there are people who have been in circumstances where they're rightly so they've been imprisoned, or wrongly they've been imprisoned, and now they're out and they can talk about their experience. What is that worth? What is your story? What are the things that you are doing? What are they worth? They're worth a lot to people if you can get them on the right track, or you can help them avoid making a big mistake, or you can help them achieve something that they've never thought about. Because I have a summit program that's going on right now that I launched 2 weeks ago, I think, $4,500. And what does it teach you? It teaches you how to create, launch, and promote a summit that makes you money. Because I've done it. I have this summit that Nadine and I are doing. We're already making money on the thing because people are paying for, right now, people are paying for the all access upgrade. They've paid for sponsorships. And now once they get in and see the goodness and the awesomeness that these speakers have, they're going to pay those speakers for something. You know, the speakers are doing this free. They've submitted their gift. But if someone resonates with you, you're going to go follow them and you probably say, hey, I need them. And just because they were on that summit and talking about their experience and what they're doing, some persons are going to go to them and start working with them. I mean, that happened on another summit that I did, the Ultimate List Building Summit, where I wound up making $25,000 off of that summit through selling the upgrade packages and the clients that came in and the products and services that I sold after. So yes, you can do it. So don't insult your expertise with cheap prices. Oh, nobody's going to buy this. No, put a price on it and go forward. The market will tell you whatever the market will bear is what you can charge, right? But you want to be, you want to be godly, you want to be Christian, you don't want to get over on people, but you want to be paid for your work, your experience. If you've got a couple of degrees or one degree, or you even went through like high school and some college, that's more than a lot of people have done. The experience that you have, you can use that to help other people do whatever it is you want to help them to do. So don't discount your experience at all. And if you do this thing that I was talking about, this 6-week program, and sell it for $25, by the end of the 6 weeks, you're going to be crazy. You're going to be pulling out your hair because you're going to get people who are, hey, this is $25. I should get everything. When you discount stuff for people, they will hold you to it. And some of them, most of them turn out to be, oh my gosh, why am I dealing with this person? But you did it to yourself because you sold it cheap and it's worth way more. And those people know it. So and they're like, well, if she sold this cheap, maybe I could get this right here. Maybe I could do this. They're going to try you. So don't do it. I'm going to tell you, don't do it. You don't want that headache. And I've done it before. So I know I have discounted. I have, broke off a couple $100 or something. And then that's kind of the first thing goes, maybe I can make it cheaper. No, it is what it is. And don't, just because you're talking to someone and they're like, well, that's a lot of money. Well, they can't afford you. If somebody really, really wants something, I've seen, let me tell you this. I've seen so many people in Louis Vuitton shoes, those red bottoms. I think that I'm getting that right? The red bottoms are Louis Vuittons, I believe. I don't have any, but I've seen them, forsake their rent, their mortgage, their car payment to get those shoes. So whatever it is that people really want, they're going to pay for it. And if you really, really want to make it as a coach or a purpose-driven entrepreneur, you gotta know that you are the bomb.com. People want you for the information, the advice, the experience, all of that, and they're willing to pay. And if you are stuck in the people who aren't willing to pay, get away from them and go to some other people who really are willing to pay. They recognize your authority. They recognize that you're validated, that you know what it takes to get them to this next level, and they're going to pay you. All right, that's all 5 of those conversations. Let me run it through again. The first one is your content is not the problem, it's your offer. So fix your offer. Number 2, your perfectionism is showing because you're not even putting the stuff out there, or it's taking you so long to get it out there because you want it to be perfect and you're missing out on money. Number 3, free is sabotaging your paid stuff. You're giving too much stuff away for free. The thing is, you really can't give everything away because it's taken you like 30 years to get the stuff together in your head. So don't be trying to give everything away. And you're kind of doing that in a way, if you're not charging enough, you're really undermining your success. Number 4, you have a conversion problem not a traffic problem. If you're not converting the traffic that you have now, your thing is not to get more traffic, it's to figure out why. That goes back to the three: who, what, how. And the final one is your prices are insulting your expertise. Don't do that. Raise your prices right now, double your prices right now, and just take a breath, double your prices, put it out there, and just see what you get. You might even get some sales because you've been holding back. And some people, believe it or not, some people are waiting for you to come up to their level with a price that they feel is going to help them. Because some people won't pay, low prices for something. That stuff is cheap, I don't want it. Oh, that's a challenging price. Let me look at what they got. So all of these 5 uncomfortable coaching conversations are things that you need to have either with yourself or with your people if you want them to get more results. And they cause you to stop hiding behind the tactics and start making the bold business decisions that will explode your business profits. So by addressing all of these 5 uncomfortable conversations, whether it's with you, yourself, or it's with your people, you're going to come back energized and ready to explode those profits in your business. And you can use my simple marketing strategies that convert to cash. The things that I'm talking about right now, writing a best-selling book, hosting an influential podcast, producing an expert summit, email marketing, make sure you're nurturing them. Even when you're putting stuff on social media, the goal is not to just engage everybody in social media. It's to find your peeps, get them to your site so that they can get on your list, so that you can nurture them and they can become clients. That is the name of the game. So if you're suffering from any of these 5 things that I've been talking about, go back through what I've been talking about. Get your mind right, get your mindset right, because you can do this. I know that you can.
Is your website ready for prime time? When your ideal prospects land on your website, do they see the true professional you are, or are they greeted by a site that's not quite ready for prime time? For 30 years, we've helped coaches and service providers transform their online presence into powerful client-attracting machines. As a premier website designers in the Atlanta area, we don't just build websites, we create conversion engines that work for you 24/7. Why choose CSI for your WOW website? We're experts in authority marketing. We help you convert web visitors into paying clients with our proven unmarketing strategy. We offer complete protection. We'll work hard to keep your website safe from hackers and accessible to all. And we offer purpose-driven results, custom designed for coaches and service providers who want to make a real impact. If you're ready to make an impact with your website, download our free WOW website planner today. Inside this planner, it'll give you all the information you need to create your own WOW website. Whether you use us or someone else, you need a WOW website that converts web visitors into paying clients. So go to csicorporation.com/planner right now and download the free WOW website planner.
Did you enjoy that? Did you learn something? I hope that you did. And I hope that you took notes. If you didn't, you can always play it again, right? So I'm glad that you were able to hear that, because it needs to be said. The information needs to be out there. All right, my client spotlight for today is Tara L. Felton. Tara and I never met until we did the summit together. I asked her to be a speaker, and she said yes. We had been trying to connect back and forth. She's been on my email list for a while, and we had an email situation where she was getting like several duplicates of emails, and we worked through that. That's how I even became aware of her presence. I don't know exactly when she got on my list, but we finally got that taken care of. And then I asked her to do something else, and she couldn't do it. So now she's on the summit, Tara Carlton. Make sure you look for her. She is on, I can't remember which day it is, but she's talking about the scar of trying to take her own life, but not being successful in that, and now being a success in her business. I think that calls for a win and a hand clap and all of that, because she was trying to take herself out, but God didn't let her do it. And now she's talking to others about mental health issues like that, and how we can make space for people and, understand what they're doing, where they are, and all that good stuff. Congratulations, Tara.
Hey there, would you like to be a guest on the Unmarket Your Business podcast? Simple. All you need to do is go to unmarketyourbusiness.com/podcast.
All right, now my challenge to you is to look over the 5 uncomfortable conversation points that I brought up. I want you to go through them and see if any of those resonate with you. And if they do, I want you to fix them. So basically, what you were listening to, I want you to see, does that affect you? Is that something that you're doing and you don't want to do any longer? Are you ready to make money? Let's knock them off one at a time. And if you see anything that's like, oh, that's me, or, oh, I've done that, stop it, fix it. You can do it. And I want you to come out on the other end happy and profitable. So now if we're going to recap, let's look back over the 3 points that I want you to get from this. Number 1, avoiding the discussion about what's working and what's not working is going to make it worse. So if you just ignore all those 5 uncomfortable conversations that I just went through and say, oh, I'm not going to worry about that, it's just going to get worse. It's not going to get better until you address it. Number 2, done is better than perfect. So stop. I can't put this out there. It's not ready. Get the thing done. Give yourself a deadline. Put it out there and then see what the reaction is. And don't put any kind of feelings on the reactions. Take it back and just see how you can change it, how you can adjust it, and then put it out again. The whole thing is to keep moving forward, right? Keep moving forward. And then number 3, going through the five conversations will make your business, your content, and your results stronger. So that's what you got to do. Play it over again.
Would you like to get free coaching from me? Simple. All you need to do is go to unmarketyourbusiness.com/podcast.
All right, everybody, it's time to get this book. What book am I talking about today? Is the I Am a Money Magnet book. Why not? Because we need money. We've been talking about money. We've been talking about how to stop the things that are stopping you from getting money. And this book is going to help you get more money, because every day you are putting into your brain, how did I make money today? Or what am I doing to make money? Because if you don't think about it, it's not just going to magically happen unless you win the lottery. But even to win the lottery, you got to enter, right? You got to buy the ticket. So let's focus on something that we really do have control over. And that is how to make money every single day. And I Am a Money Magnet does that for you. You can find it on Amazon, and it's also on our site, csicorporation.com. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for sticking around. Next episode, I'm going to be talking about 9 ways to convert traffic into clients. So we talked about fixing stuff, those uncomfortable conversations. So by the time I come back around next time, I'm going to give you 9 ways to convert traffic into clients. So if you have received value from this episode, if it touched on something that you really liked or made you think about something, please consider subscribing so you don't miss a single moment. Maybe even writing a review about the podcast, because this will help other purpose-driven entrepreneurs just like you to find this information and get on the right track with their business. Or you can share this with your audience and let them know, hey, I'm thebomb.com because I know about Carol and her Unmarket Your Business podcast, and you can be too. But that's just a little funny thing. But yeah, if that helps you share it, honey, go ahead. So thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to the Unmarket Your Business podcast. Heard something you want to take action on? Great. Check out the show notes on unmarketyourbusiness.com/podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. Please do me a favor and leave a review or on whatever platform you use to access this podcast. It really helps us to spread the word and get this podcast in front of the entrepreneurs that need it. See you next episode.